Martin, it starts with this red door. Tell me what that is.
So this is it's called a blower door, but it measures the pressure in the house. So we use this to diagnose how energy efficient and how leaky or drafty your house is, relatively speaking. So we put this device on one of the doors of the house, and then this big fan goes on and it sucks the air out of the house and depressurizes the house. And then we put a small computerized meter on that fan, and we can come up with an objective measurement of how leaky the house is in cubic feet per minute. And then also when it's running, we can go around and feel the drafts and see the drafts and identify through visual observation what things we might be able to do to improve the efficiency of the house. Comfort is the primary issue. Uneven temperatures from room to room, areas maybe near a window or door that's just uncomfortable, maybe in a kitchen eating area or a family room where you're constantly getting drafts and people are bundling up with blankets are kind of telltale signs of perennial problems that have not been addressed.
And when you saw this home, what were you expecting to find?
You know, it's a very nice home, but it was built in 1959, and it wasn't until the mid to late 70s, depending on which community you live in, that insulation was even required. So unless the homeowner had done some major upgrades, we expected that some of the walls wouldn't be insulated, the attic would be under-insulated, and that there would be some air leakage just because of the age of the home. So none of the findings were particularly surprising. Using an infrared camera and a smoke pencil, we can go around and determine if walls are insulated, if there's leakage around a door or window, and identify some of these comfort issues that people experience.
What do you look for when you use a smoke pencil? How does that work?
Sure, we're just looking for the draft. So this accelerates the draft. So if you have a draft by a window or against a wall that you're constantly feeling, when this house is under pressure, it'll accelerate that, and you can easily identify areas where air is leaking out of the house. You can clearly identify walls that are missing insulation, attics that are under insulated, and air leakage points. So we use the camera to go around and check to see which sidewalls need attention or attic spaces. Well, there's a number of areas that are leaky, drafty. Some of it's due to uninsulated walls and attics, and some of them are just leaks, like around door weather stripping and window caulking and things like that. Well, in most homes, if you approach the fixes to these comfort and efficiency issues from three areas, you can have a good degree of success, and that's simply air sealing the house, closing up any gaps and cracks from the inside to out, insulating the boundary walls, the walls and the attics and the basements, and then properly ventilating both the house and any unconditioned attics. So if those three are addressed in combination, you have a pretty good chance of success. If you leave one out, you're opening yourself up to some problems, potentially.
All right, we're going to find out what's going on in this house.
Well, we always start with the customer and find out what their concerns are. That helps us, leads us in some ways to where we should investigate. But the diagnostics will prove out what specifically we can do. So in this case, they've got some attic spaces that are under-insulated, which is not surprising. Doesn't mean the house is in poor repair. It's just an old house that probably was insulated to the conditions at the time it was built. Now, building codes have changed and materials have improved, so that's what we reflect in the report. So this home needs more insulation in the attic spaces, more insulation in some of the sidewalls. We address this crawl space issue, the 3 crawl spaces, and then some general air sealing, which is door weather stripping, caulking, and sealing. In addition, we did do a check on the furnace of this home. We do an efficiency check on the furnace and the hot water tank. They both proved out well. It's a newer furnace, which is not surprising, and the hot water tank, although old, is performing well. So we measure the efficiency of the furnace. We're not in the furnace business, but if there is a problem with the furnace, we would at least identify it so the homeowner could take action. So that's what's in this report, and we present it to the customer, and then they can go forward and do some, all, or none with their own time frame.
Barry Insulation is Cleveland-based and employee-owned. Take advantage of what they're offering this January, a whole home energy assessment for free. You can also give them a call at 216-621-68